What does it feel like to have emotionally supportive parents? I was having a bad day. Went to my mom's and she noticed. She just held me as I cried for a bit. Snuggled up on the couch. Made me dinner. Got me a present since I was feeling down. I'm 26. It was nice to been able to let go. Let my mom take all my worries away and just be her little girl again. My GF parents were the first ones I've had contact with in a long time. Even with the language barrier, they were so sweet and caring without being asked. My real mom, I play a game where I use a timer to see how much of the 20-minute conversation is about her versus me. Usually works out around 19.5 minutes for her, and I get a "well, how are you?" when I say I need to the phone. Having an emotionally supportive mother is as good as it gets. I'm not ashamed to say I consider her my best friend. Having emotionally supportive parents helped me a lot over the years. My mid-late teens were a particularly difficult time for my mental and physical health, and I don't know how I would have got through it without them. I'm spending the week with my boyfriend and his mom. We are in our late 30s, early 40s. It's so weird. She is so nice and supportive and kind. I am so uncomfortable and just blown away by how different it is. I can't imagine what it's like to have this all the time. I've read through these comments and there's been a lot of people saying it's great to have supportive parents. That just makes me feel bad when I say I hate my parents, maybe because they've always been breathing down my neck 24/7 and sometimes talk about my body. Telling them everything about the worst parts of you and knowing that they will help you get better and love you. Wanting to give them as much happiness as they gave you. Really knowing what unconditional love feels like. They never openly questioned me on why I'm still single. I know they're a bit worried, sad for me, and it makes me feel a bit guilty because I love them. I need to be able to manage myself first. Well, not my parents. But being around my partner's parents, I feel safe. I don't feel anxiety around him. My partner's parents just want him to be happy. He picked me and I'm rough around edges, definitely not like his family lol, and even though his parents don't like my swearing, they still like me because I guess I'm a decent person and make him happy. As a dad to 2 wonderful children, I would curl up and die if I found out this is how they feel about me. It is so upsetting to read so many kids, I guess young adults to adults, haven't had a supportive upbringing. Sometimes I know I can be a little critical, but I want the best for them. As a proud dad, I'm sorry for those that don't have this in their lives and wish I could help. I was always able to reach out to my parents. Sadly, in-laws who had a child with a disorder were, so we don't talk about that stuff, we're a different story. Yet my wife and her siblings are just do things to make them happy. We learned never to talk about anything with them and we still do. Happy life. My parents are far from the spectrum, but it's nice to see people have those parents. My parents refuse to accept my brother as gay since he's been with so many girls and they do nothing to help his mental health. I didn't really have supportive parents growing up. But now with my divorce coming up, they have been extremely supportive, so that means a lot. You only get beaten if it's necessary. Looking back, the only times my parents actually beat me was when I actually did something wrong. To dispel a myth, Muslim parents shouldn't be abusive. My parents never supported me in any way, emotionally or otherwise. When my first marriage fell apart, they blamed me for not being supportive of my then ex-wife. Then they moved house and didn't even bother tell me where they moved to. I only found out when I joined the civil service where they lived. That was a 9-year gap. My parents are my best friends. I hope to one day be like them for my kids. They understand immediately when something is wrong with me mentally and we talk it out. Usually talking to them helps a lot with everything but talking to girls, haha. My parents are extremely busy with their jobs, but we still joke around and find time to be together. The only parent I have is my mother. She is simply the best, always supports me in everything. I don't remember the last time we quarreled with her. I am very grateful to her for everything. It makes me feel like I can do and accomplish anything. My mom has always been my biggest cheerleader and I appreciate that so much. I have been blessed. It wasn't always like this though. I was a troublemaker in my teen years. Life and older age has mellowed them out and I know they always have my back because they tell me so. My in-laws are. It's been really strange, even though I've known them for 10 years. The support feels foreign to me. I like them stubborn, tell me I can't do something and then show them. But nowadays they just believe me right away, so more boring now. All my childhood felt sour towards kids who had nice parents. They don't yell at you. What? They don't beat you? No way. They respect your needs and opinion. Don't BS me D. At least they've provided my psychiatrist a long-term client. Rolling eyes face. It's an honor and a privilege. My parents are amazing and I never take them for granted. My greatest fear in life is losing them. I know I will someday. I just try to spend as much quality time with them as I can and hope they're around for a good, long while. Not going to lie, it's fantastic. My mom and dad were always happiest whenever my sister or I succeeded at something and always there when things weren't great. One of the biggest lessons I have tried to take from them for my own kids. However, I guess it is still a kind of pressure to not let them down. My mom is my best friend and someone who I'm scared to lose every single day. I literally don't know what I would do without her. I gave her so much shit as a child and teenager, and I get that that's normal, but I'm so grateful we were able to experience our relationship as two adults. She's the only person who truly gets me and she's irreplaceable. There's some things that my parents don't support me on, but for most part they're supportive. They let me go off and pursue my dreams. It's nice and I do have the right to pursue my interests. I'm glad I have parents with nice brains that do let me do what I enjoy. I wouldn't know. I'm 58 and still dealing with the fallout from my parents' emotional and psychological and frequently physical abuse and neglect. What's helped the most is practicing intentional gratitude that I survived it and refused to continue the cycle with my own children. It was wonderful. I appreciated it more as I got into my early 20s and understood that they truly were my building blocks. They were not pushy, bossy, I told you so's or learn the hard way parents. I'm a decent mix of both of them and I'm grateful that I had such great parents. Emotionally? But I recently injured my shoulder, and she would visit me and bring me food. She was the only parent to come to my wedding. Her love language is act of service. Good. I know if I fail they'll be there to pick up the pieces and they'll be happy for me if all goes well. I can pop by whenever I just need some time or a nice meal too. Mine force their emotions on me, basically manipulative, so annoying AF, and I want nothing to do with them. Also, I am adopted, so that doesn't help their reasoning either. I was blessed with good parents who loved and provided for me. Dad could be a little stern at times, but I never felt I wasn't loved. Now they're both 90 and need a lot of help, which I am happy to provide. I have no clue. My parents have never been emotionally supportive. Financially, sure, but I want to feel wanted and loved. They would tell me to man up and move on. Being able to talk to them and regress a bit to a more innocent childlike way of thinking because you're their baby,